right, Dan, thank you so much for your time. First season in KBO, you're off to a pretty good start. First impressions so far, how it's been with Lotte Giants?
It's been very quiet. I thought I was coming over to a very fan-friendly environment, and that's been the biggest surprise so far. But baseball-wise, it's been awesome. You know, it's I knew I was gonna have to learn what Korean hitters were all about, if that makes sense. Like learning like who's trying to take you deep, who's trying to hit singles, who would rather ground out to second base than swing and miss at a pitch. Like all these things are like really important to figuring out how to pitch at any level, but especially at a high level in a place that is full of small ballparks and free swingers.
Well, I'm looking at your record. You pitch really, really well, but you're not getting the wins. Are you a little bit frustrated about that?
You're talking to a guy that's 3 wins and a last 3 starts, so I don't know what you're referring to. But more importantly, this was instilled in me from my first day in the major leagues. You could go out and have a really bad game, and you'd walk in and Kurt Young, if the team won, Kurt Young would give you a high five and say, "Congrats, man, you started a winner." That's what it's all about, is the team winning. So like I personally think that the pitcher win stat is not the most relevant thing. Like no one looks at that to judge a pitcher's ability. They just don't. It's maybe for fans, maybe it's like, yes, you have to give somebody, but it's also like, you know, quarterback win stat. Like, yes, they're the ones throwing the football there, but at the end of the day, like it's a lot more than just the pitcher out there. So that's it's more like, you know, the frustration is more of like, why aren't we winning all the games? You know what I mean? Like that's what you just want to see. It's like little things here, little things there. But I personally have not been frustrated that I personally was not getting wins. A lot of it too is the team was still winning the day I was pitching. We were just winning later in the game.
I have to ask you that question because a lot of the Lotte Giants fans were really frustrated because you were pitching well and you weren't getting the W, and there's ongoing conversations, message boards, and the social media. You know, oh, it's Dan Straley's day, and they're not scoring any runs for him. You know, there were a lot of talk about that. Who are some of your closest teammates? I'm sure. I mean, we still have plenty of baseball left. Have you gotten to know a lot of your teammates?
I mean, as much as possible, we try really hard to make an effort. Like these guys have been so welcoming to us. I feel like it's our job as foreigners to like get to know them as well, right? Like it's all this information like about each other. Like you can't really read it because I don't read Korean. Many of them don't read English, but we, you know, just like sitting in the dugout, have a lot of opportunities to talk to teammates, especially some of the other starting pitchers. Talked to Sojun Won quite a bit about just life, about, you know, kind of his 20 years old, and he's up at the same, you know, he's in the big leagues. And so it's just like I've talked to him quite a bit. Talked to my catcher through translators obviously quite a bit whenever we're not working together. You know, some of the days when he's not catching the other guys. But more than anything else, I think just trying to have like good chemistry and have a lot of fun with like Lee Dae-ho and Jun Jun-woo and like some of these other guys that I try to like kind of joke around with and have some fun like that, because I recognized pretty quickly once I got here that age is obviously the most important things in terms of like the hierarchy. And where I come from, like when you're on the baseball field, like you're just all having fun together. So I try to like bring a little bit of that, and obviously with keeping respect to the way things work here, because as I've said since day one, like I joined the KBO did not join me.
I'm sure you had a lot of scouting reports and you've seen a lot of videos before the season started, but now that you've actually kind of gone around the league a little bit, what have you noticed so far?
Yeah, no, I've faced every team so far, which I think I did that in 11 starts, which is pretty tough to do when there's only 10 teams. So that was, I think that was really good for me, a chance to see every hitter in the league essentially one time through, and then it's all about that second and third time, who can make the adjustment, who can't. Like that's really what it comes down to in terms of having good numbers throughout the course of a baseball season. The league is, like I said, like I feel like it'd be a little bit different if there was fans, maybe some adrenaline, maybe a little more, the bigger moments would seem a little bigger. I knew, obviously coming in, I knew the hitters were going to be very good. I just didn't realize what that meant. I didn't realize that like the ability for these guys to put balls in play is way greater than like I ever expected. And I'm not saying like I expect them to miss all the time. I just didn't realize that like you could bounce the ball 5 feet in front of home plate and they would find a way to put a bat on it.
Okay.
I've had guys literally jump back and foul off a pitch that was inside. Things that like I've just never seen in my 11-year career, that I'm just like, I find myself at least once a game like thinking like, wow, like how did he do that on the mound? Like I'm like, how did that guy make contact on that pitch? Like at least once a game I'm saying that to myself on the mound, and it's usually a foul ball, but I'm still just like, how did he even touch that? And that's been that's the kind of stuff that doesn't show up on scouting reports, doesn't show up on videos. Like those don't make highlight reels, but it's been entertaining as a baseball player, someone that sees the game a little differently than a fan, where you see some of these things and you're just like, how'd that guy do that? How was he able to do that? And like I said, we're probably at least once a day saying that to ourselves in the dugout, and at least once a day when I'm on the mound, we're saying that.